All camera rolling. Camera roll.
You can record us without telling. We'll be the
You're
best.
supposed to look at the TV or
the
camera.
Can I read it once?
Leanplum and CleverTap. We're better together.
It's very interesting. Hello everyone, I'm Siddharth Malik, CEO of CleverTap. I'm looking forward to a very interesting session with 4 founders whose growth trajectory I have followed closely over the years. And today I'm an integral part of the journey ahead. It's a big day for us as 2 global companies come together to become the game changer in the user retention category for digital brands. It is my extreme pleasure to welcome officially Leanplum to CleverTap family. And today I have with me Sunil Thomas, who is the chairman and the founder of CleverTap, Anand, who is the chief product officer and founder of CleverTap, Suresh, who is the CTO and founder of CleverTap, and we have Momchil, who is the founder of Leanplum.
Hello.
Let me begin by asking this gentleman, how did it all start for you guys?
So, Anand, Suresh and I were colleagues at Network 18, which is a large media house in India, where we were essentially responsible for managing the technology for all of their digital properties. The marketing growth stack over there consisted of multiple point solutions to solve for different things: web pop-ups, A/B testing, messaging, analytics, reporting, data warehouses, etc. Each tool operated in its own universe and stored its own version of different pieces of data. And overall, just doing basic reporting.
With these point solutions, the growth teams could not piece together a complete picture of the user profile, nor could they communicate with their users in a timely manner. This led to missed opportunities, terrible customer experience, and user churn. Our instinct and early research showed that this problem was widely prevalent in other places too.
We figured the Nirvana lies in putting all user data in the center. Product and growth marketing teams should be able to leverage this data for insights and analytics, segmentation, AI/ML, messaging, personalization, and automation. We couldn't find the technology that was able to store, process, and make this user data available in real time for action at internet scale. So we created our purpose-built database, which is the heart of the CleverTap platform. Today, it stores 50 petabytes of data, processing 20 billion requests each day. The CleverTap platform touches 3 billion devices globally.
And I started my entrepreneurial journey about 10 years ago. And at the time, they told me there's basically 2 types of companies out there. There's B2C, there's B2B. And B2C founders, they tend to solve oftentimes a problem in their personal life. And for B2B founders, we kind of tend to solve problems at our previous employer. So not unlike you guys, I was at my job at Google, and I was working on YouTube specifically, working on driving engagement, build some of the core A/B testing infrastructure there. And I realized that all the growth of YouTube was coming from mobile, but there were none of the tools out there, and it was really not possible to drive experimentation on mobile. So I ended up leaving and started Leanplum, and literally the first thing we built was an A/B testing platform for mobile apps. But soon enough, we realized, okay, A/B testing is a means to an end. It's a great means to an end. But really the end game here is always retention, engagement, monetization. And so we ended up adding other tools such as messaging and a whole suite of other things to be able to complement into a complete growth platform that we are today. In fact, I remember back in 2014, when we were just adding our messaging capabilities, we were the first ones to demo using a push notification, a triggered one, to deliver a cart abandonment notification. At the time, nobody else was able to do that. And our platform, we were able to demo it on stage, ended up winning that challenge. So we've definitely come a long way since then, but we're still focused on being the complete growth platform for mobile apps. And our bread and butter is gaming, subscription apps, as well as on-demand and mobility apps.
Very interesting to hear that. I had seen this from outside, but good to hear from the horse's mouth. This brings me to a larger question about the industry in today's time. What can a non-mobile first markets like US, Europe, can learn from a mobile first market like India, Southeast Asia, and Latin America?
India is second to China in app downloads globally, highest daily time spent. According to App Annie, an average user has spent 4.6 hours on Android phones each day. The time spent by each user grew by 40% from 3.3 hours back in 2019, driven by surging mobile adoption during the COVID-19 pandemic.
And as soon as the pandemic hit, we actually saw a rapid spike across a number of verticals, especially the verticals where it makes the most sense, things like entertainment, health and fitness, e-learning, gaming. So people are sitting at home, they're using their device a lot more. And what this meant is that the companies that are providing these services, they really had to take a leap forward with the more digitally savvy consumer during the pandemic. So we actually saw across the board in the US and Europe, about 5 to 6 years of maybe advancement in the digital transformation for a lot of those companies that were perhaps a little bit behind. And per industry reports, 51% of mobile users actually check their phones about 1 to 10 times per day. And another 25% of the time, they actually check between 11 and 20 times. So really the smartphone is kind of the centerpiece for your digital consumption today. And apps within that are really the best tailored experience for people to consume content on the mobile device. So it's really a great experience for the end user. It's also the best place for the brands to build reputation, to build retention, and really to optimize for revenue with those users.
And all these numbers clearly indicate a mobile-first approach can truly unlock opportunities to reach new customers, opportunities to expand to new markets. It also leads to a lot more flexibility, improved functionality, and you can really build strong relationships with the customers on a one-on-one basis. The East of the world is clearly ahead of the game in this mobile app adoption, in delivering personalized experiences, in fact, growing revenues through loyalty and things like that. And the West is playing catch up in many ways.
Yes, it's very interesting to see the learning curve move from East to West. So what are the challenges facing digital-first businesses today? And Suresh, what would be your advice to navigate that?
So in the mad rush to acquire new users, most apps don't pay attention to user retention. It's important to understand that user retention starts from day one, as soon as the user launches the app for the first time. It begins with crafting an amazing onboarding experience, and then it continues to create delightful moments through the user's journey as they interact with the app.
And frankly, with so many apps out there, it's just become a problem with share of voice. And really, the retention becomes the number one issue for app developers. I would say COVID-19 has only made things worse.
So my advice is to turn the tide in their favor. Make the first run experience delightful with good and quick onboarding. Personalize every interaction with your users based on the behavior.
Now, adding to what Suresh said, use each messaging channel optimally. For example, if you're an e-commerce app, you can use emails to send order confirmation. However, you can use push notifications to send delivery updates. Use gamification principles to get users to explore various parts of the app.
That's right, Anand and Suresh. Another one that I want to highlight is the activation of the viral loop, so-called rewards and referrals. It's a really great way to spread the word around and really get the rest of your family involved with those apps.
Very relevant advice, Anand, Suresh, and Mamchal. So, what are some of the big trends in mobile marketing you see globally, and especially in a market like India?
So, Siddharth, marketing functions globally are increasing focus on a much more personalized approach. In fact, a much more personalized approach even within advertising. Consumers who are increasingly diverse and global expect brands to follow through on these promises. A contextual and a relevant intervention is actually appreciated, is useful. And the younger generation especially is expecting a lot more from these interactions than just details about the latest big sale that's going to come and through. Other trends globally that we are seeing is a cookieless world. There's going to be a lot more importance on first party data and how effectively you're able to use it for creating these delightful moments that Suresh and Anand and Momchil were talking about. It's extremely important that brands and marketing organizations use first-party data and maximize usage of that data to create experiences for their users. The second trend is a phygital approach, as physical worlds and digital worlds come together to create unique customer experiences. You cannot treat them differently. It's part of the same system. And last but not least, in my opinion, is AI/ML based marketing. There's just a lot of algorithms and artificial intelligence that can integrate marketing tactics, getting the right offers to the right users at the right time, and simply delivering great post-sale service to make the consumer experience really better. It's just a lot more scalable than traditional manual approaches. And if you're dealing with lots of users, it's your best way out.
And I'd like to highlight a couple more trends. The first one is being hyper-local, and language-based personalization specifically is really important here, especially in a really diverse world that we all live in. And the second trend is very specific to gaming. And what we see in gaming is that there's been a tremendous focus on personalizing the player journey to the point where every touch point with the player feels personal, all the way from the offers that you get in the store for monetization purposes, into the messaging that goes out to retain the players, to engage them better, and into the actual in-game experience. The actual player experience as you play the game changes based on what you're doing in the game. And what this does is it actually creates a win-win scenario where on one end you have the developer, and they're obviously monetizing better. They're able to engage and retain their players better. And on the other end, you have a player who's able to enjoy a really holistic player experience. And what this all means, I think, for the Indian market is really interesting, because if you just look at the global player base, 1 out of 10 players in the world is based in India. And if you look at the global market, today about $1.5 billion is actually coming from the Indian market. But we're actually projecting by the year of 2025 for this to go up to $5 billion. So this is just tremendous growth opportunity for all of us.
The other trend I want to talk about is social commerce. It's already a big phenomena and is slated to cross $20 billion of revenue by the year 2025. The other thing that comes to my mind is mobile streaming. Entertainment is not reserved just for the big screens. About 55% of the OTT users are in top 5 metro cities of India, whereas the other 36% are from tier 1 cities. This is the way these users get their entertainment. The number of smartphones users in India is slated to cross 800 million very shortly.
Right, Anand. One more trend to note is the 5G network, which is currently being adopted across the world. People are craving rich and interactive experiences. The 5G technology will help marketers with this, allowing them to deliver data-heavy experiences they weren't able to provide before.
It's awesome listening you guys. This brings me to CleverTap today and the big announcement we made. Sunil, let's talk about what makes CleverTap and Leanplum story so special.
So really exciting, Siddharth. This acquisition is going to create a solid foundation for CleverTap to become the world's best retention cloud. It's going to be a fully integrated product, comprehensive, and offering user-level insights, deep segmentation, hyper-personalization, machine learning, message orchestration across multiple channels like email, push, WhatsApp, etc. We will cross more than $100 million of annual recurring revenue before the end of 2022, and we will be serving customers in North and South America, Europe, as well as Asia. You know, at CleverTap, we have more than 500 employees today across the globe. We serve more than 1,000 customers, and it's really awesome to add Leanplum to this family.
And what we bring to the table is about 200 brands, primarily based in North America and Europe. Brands such as Big Fish Games, Just Eat Takeaway, Tesco, and TED. And about 110 employees, headquartered in San Francisco, but with an engineering hub and world-class engineering team in Sofia, Bulgaria.
Digging deeper into this acquisition, Momchil, why this acquisition? What impresses you about each other?
What I was really impressed with when I first got to know the guys at CleverTap is that is actually there's a lot more to it when you look a little bit under the hood. From a technology point of view, I'm obviously a product founder, so I was really impressed with the data engine that's running everything behind the scenes for CleverTap. Just a tremendous scale, but in a way, what really surprised me was that if you are kind of looking at the space in general for any industry, there's usually two types of ways to build a competitive advantage. There is a way for you to build an advantage around cost efficiencies, and there is also a way to do it where you focus on being a little bit more flexible, more powerful, kind of being the best of breed. And to me, that really speaks to the true innovation that has happened at CleverTap in terms of technology, to enable both of these things to happen at the same time.
Awesome. Sumit?
And I can add to this. I mean, I can speak on behalf of Anand and Suresh also. Like when we founded CleverTap in, it seems like a long time ago, but in 2013, we really used to look up to Leanplum. They have done such an amazing job with their brand, and I still remember Anand, if you remember it too, that they used to write these recipes, and the recipes were actually recipes for marketers to perform certain tasks. How do you trigger an abandoned cart campaign and so on? But with the whole Leanplum thing, with documentation in the form of recipes, and it was really an aspirational brand from a brand and a presentation. And in fact, even the usability and the user interface of the product was exceptionally good. So I remember like really looking up to it. One day we will also be at that level, kind of a thing. And it's really amazing. I'm really excited about this merger. I can't speak enough about it.
Awesome. Anand, what does this acquisition means to our customers?
The world is rapidly changing in front of our eyes. The apps need to reduce the moving parts in the growth stack. Technologies of yesterday cannot serve the needs of digital brands today. We all know better user retention leads to faster growth sustainably. CleverTap and Leanplum have come together to define this new way of faster growth through retention. We are creating the world's #1 retention cloud. This change is significant not only for the employees of CleverTap and Leanplum, but also for all our customers, the entire mobile ecosystem, prospective employees, investors, partners, media, and the analyst community.
After listening to you all, I really feel confident that the goals what we have assigned post-merger, post-acquisition, I think I'm very confident that we'll achieve these goals, be it growing 10x in the next 5 years in revenue. We aim to work with 50% of the Fortune 500 companies by helping them with their retention and revenue goals. We also aspire to be recognized as SaaS talent house, built on strong people culture, driven by values and equality.
It'll be awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.